How to stop puppies mouthing and biting. As with any problem behavior, teach your puppy what you do want him to do instead of biting. Dogs use their mouths to interact with their environment, so it is normal for a puppy to want to bite your hands or clothes. However, in our society, it is highly inappropriate. To train a puppy to stop using their mouth when interacting with humans is simple. All you have to do is set up training scenarios where your puppy would normally start biting and train an alternate response, calmly sitting, lying down, standing, or walking with a closed mouth. First, you would start with the least arousing game, so simply just a reaching hand. As you reach, click or say yes, and then feed a treat. As the puppy is successful, you can progress to more and more arousing stimulus. Make it a little louder. I'm going to touch her and click and feed. That time she actually got, she opened her mouth on my hand. But what I want to teach her is that a reaching hand doesn't mean just open your mouth and take it into your mouth. It means the predictor that a treat's going to happen. So hopefully she'll catch on. That action is not a stimulating action, it just predicts that a treat is going to happen. Right there. And petting doesn't mean excited either. So hands on you equals quick and a treat. And at first you want to start off very, very slowly. You don't want to get too excited and do what people are going to do later. You want to start out with just touch equals treat. And you have to make sure the clicker isn't too loud or you deafen your dog or get them to hate being touched because you make a scary noise when you click. Another thing you can do is do all the things that your dog usually would lunge and bite. Perhaps if I didn't have treats and I didn't have the clicker right now and I shuffled my feet like that, your dog would go after my shoes and want to chew on them. So I'm going to do the thing that's the stimulus for biting and click the dog for it working for the treat, just standing calmly. Now if the dog were to bite my shoes, I would say, whoops, that was too much. I'm just going to go to doing step in front of the dog. Maybe I can borrow the leash because I know she really wants the leash. If your puppy's getting too excited by this game, stop and try again later when the puppy is calmer. You can also use a lower level reinforcement if your puppy is too excited about the food, as well as watching my video before you start training with food. The great thing about conditioning handling to be calming and reinforcing rather than exciting and arousing is that you can use handling in the future to calm your puppy down when he's too excited, or even as an adult dog, if your dog is fearful or reactive of something, you can use handling to communicate and tell them everything's fine and calm them down. Here I am demoing an appropriate way to pet your dog. You should respect your dog and stop guests from doing invasive petting as well as over-arousing petting. You should not allow your dog to be manhandled or petted roughly. Petting should not only be rewarding for the human, but for the dog as well. However, at some point in your dog's life, someone might get to your dog before you can stop them and be overly rough. You can prepare your dog for these situations by playing training games. But when these situations do occur in real life, respect your dog and get them out of the stressful situation. Do practice handling exercises for grooming as well as vet visits regularly. So you probably did, just touching equals treats. Now you can start doing more exciting things, like going, and that doesn't mean turn around and go for my hand.
Right.
Squeezing his paws. We did up this game, huh? So looking in the ears equals a click and a treat. Lifting the lips and check his teeth. Oh, he's really good. Is this the same dog?
Yeah, he has changed a lot. Well, now we have a little bit more time to focus on him.
What kids might do, I don't know, poke the eyes. Not actually poke the eyes, but mess with him, poke his nose, look at his paws. Yes, you're very good with this. And then go, oh, little puppy, hee hee. Because that's what people do. They rub them like this and go, hee hee, pat their ribs.
Right.
And that just means, you know, the human's doing really arousing stuff and you don't get to do much except lay there. Sadly, that's what happens.
Sadly, that's
Okay, that's all done.
Here are some tips. These exercises should only be done by adults, as children can actually teach dogs to find mouthing and biting fun. If you want to work with your child as a distraction, have your puppy on leash while you control all interactions, making sure to end the game if the puppy gets too aroused. Children under the age of 5 should never be left alone with a dog or encouraged to interact with or pet dogs, as they cannot control how rough they are and can make your dog learn to not like children, as well as it being unsafe for the child. Put your puppy on leash and tether him to a door so that you can escape him if you make a mistake by progressing too quickly and elicit mouthing. If your puppy starts mouthing you during the training games, it means you've gone too far too quickly. Go back a step and make the game easier. Make sure your puppy can always back away from you so they don't feel trapped or forced when being handled. This is because they could start learning to bite out of fear or stress. If you have an adult dog or adolescent dog that is mouthy, watch my handling shyness video. If you must roughhouse with your dog, have a structured game where you hold a toy in each hand that the dog can bite. Never allow your dog to bite your hands when playing. If you feel teeth, the game ends. Always have a cue to start and end the game, and never reinforce the dog for starting the game on his own. What to do if your puppy bites you outside of a training session. Every time a puppy is reinforced for putting teeth on human skin, a bite reinforcement history is being created. Take mouthing seriously and make sure you do not reinforce it. Ignoring biting is a bad idea because it is self-reinforcing. There are many ways to stop biting from being reinforced, so use your judgment as to which technique works best for your puppy to lower his arousal. 1. Interrupt and redirect. Call your puppy away from the person being bitten, "Pup, pup, puppy," and redirect him to a toy or something more appropriate. You can also interrupt a bite by simulating the yipe of another puppy, but this can actually have the reverse effect on some puppies and make them want to bite you more, so use your common sense. 2. Remove your attention. Stand up and withdraw your hands if the puppy is biting them. Resume when the puppy is calm. You can also step over a baby gate to prevent interactions until the puppy calms down. 3. Calmly pick the puppy up and hold him in a way that his teeth do not reach your skin until he is calmed down. You can offer calming signals like yawning and blinking to help him calm down. In no way should you do this in a vindictive or threatening manner, as you want to train your dog to trust you and find being restrained calming and reinforcing. See my video on puppy restraints coming soon. 5. Use prevention. If you know your puppy always bites in certain situations, set those situations up as training games first. If your puppy always bites your feet when you go up the stairs, click the puppy as you approach the stairs and click and treat as you go up for the absence of bites. Give your puppy a chew or take the puppy for a walk before his witching hour begins, rather than trying to work through it. At no time will you be positively punishing your dog for biting, as that can cause the dog to become more aroused. You will simply be removing the reinforcement of the puppy continuing biting while you train an alternate response. Spending time on handling exercises and teaching default calm behaviors like a settle will increase your puppy's ability to cope with exciting situations and help him make the correct choices.